What's up?
Oh, I'm just compiling all the top sports scores, news, and odds so I can make the very best bets.
Me too. BetOnline.ag.
Join today and receive your 50% welcome bonus at betonline.ag.
With a number of key assistants leaving, what did Bill Belichick do to rejuggle his coaching staff in 2019? I'm Alex Barth. He is Evan Lazar from inside Gillette Stadium. This is the FOXBORO Report, powered by betonline.ag. Visit clnsmedia.com/win today and use the promo code CLNS50 for 50% cash back. Evan, no more Brian Flores. That's the big one.
Yep.
Number of other names gone as well. Chad O'Shea out the door.
Brandon Daly, Josh Boyer, cornerback.
I mean, we can roll them all off, but I think the
did for
people
you.
want a little more analysis than just the names.
Yeah, I can do names.
There's some shifting going on amongst the Patriots
absolutely.
coaching staff. New names in, some familiar names with new jobs. We got that list last week, Evan, of who's going to have what assignment this year. What stood out the most to you?
Well, I think that the thing that stood out most to me immediately was that Joe Judge is now going to be the special teams coordinator and the wide receivers coach.
Right.
That seems like a lot of responsibility. Now, Cam McCord, who's the assistant special teams coach, is held in very high regard in the building, and I think that he's going to take on a lot of the responsibilities that Judge normally would have. Maybe I would say that a lot of the game day responsibilities will still fall on Judge, but maybe some of the stuff in practice now gets passed off to Cam McCord, and that's how they kind of lessen the load. But you just drafted a wide receiver in the first round, and N'Keal Harry, he needs a coach.
Right, he needs somebody to work with.
Yeah, he needs somebody to really coach him up. Judge has never coached wide receivers before. I'm not saying he can't do it. The Patriots cross-train all their coaches, and I'm not trying to create hysteria or anything about N'Keal Harry, but you want a guy that is in N'Keal Harry's ear that knows what he's talking about. So I think this is something that is worth monitoring going forward.
Well, the other thing I wonder if you have a lot of crossover between the wide receivers and special teams. This is a team that's looking for a new kick returner, potentially looking to lighten Julian Edelman's role as a punt returner. Does it give a guy like a Braxton Berrios maybe a leg up, being in the room with his coach?
Potentially.
Right.
I think that one thing, too, about special teams also that people don't realize is that a lot of the stuff in punt coverage, being a gunner, for example, is a lot like being a wide receiver.
Right.
You
got to get off the line.
Right. You get away from press coverage in the same way that you get away from the blockers. So there's a little bit of element there with the blocking and with the way that you beat guys in punt coverage that do translate to wide receiver. I just think that, from an experience standpoint, going from a guy like Chad O'Shea to Joe Judge is a pretty big leap.
Yes. All right, so now you have on the defensive side of the ball, obviously, no more Brian Flores.
Yeah.
No defensive coordinator. Schiano was supposed to be the guy. He left earlier in the offseason. Some people
Had some
thought
bad luck with that
maybe
spot.
be Steve Belichick, another couple names thrown out. But nope, Belichick's going to be the primary defensive play caller for the second year in a row now. How do you feel about that, and who do you think falls into that de facto defensive coordinator spot Flores had last year?
Yeah, again, I don't want to, it's not going to cost them a Super Bowl.
Right.
But
they won a Super Bowl last year with the same strategy.
I don't love it. I don't love Belichick calling plays, and I don't think that Belichick loves calling plays, to be honest with you. I think that he has said in the past multiple times that the best way to go about it as a head coach is to kind of be the CEO, right?
Yep.
And you're the guy overseeing everybody's job. You obviously have hands-on with everything, but you kind of have to trust your coaching staff and trust your assistants to be able to do the little things, right? Like calling plays, like setting, substitutions, that kind of stuff on a game day. How much is this going to take away? How much is Bill Belichick going to be buried in his play sheet versus, paying attention to the other things? The good news is, though, is that you do have Josh McDaniels on the offensive side of the ball with Dante Scarnecchia and Ivan Fears. You can't have any more experience than that. You have Tom Brady at quarterback. So how much of the offense does Bill Belichick really need to worry about anyways? I don't really know. But I think that ideally Belichick would love either Brett Bielema or maybe Gerard Mayo to kind of take that by the horns and kind of show him early on, maybe in the preseason, he gives those guys some opportunities to call plays, that they can call plays, and gives them that maybe, halfway through the season, maybe around Thanksgiving or something like that, somebody takes it from Belichick.
Well, we will see. Belichick has in the past not just played backups in the preseason, uses the backup coaches. He'll have other coaches call plays to prepare for the unforeseen. So we'll get a good idea of that, really, once
I would be
the preseason
shocked
gets
if Gerard
going.
Mayo doesn't get a chance to call
I would
plays.
think he will, too. I mean, he was the green dot. Did they have the green dot when he was playing? They did.
And I also think that he did. I think that there are some it might be even a little bit overrated on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, certainly it's not.
Right.
But defensively, you kind of have your calls, you have your game plan, you kind of know what you're going to do going in. Maybe the only difference I would say is like when do you call a certain blitz?
Right.
You know, the timing of that kind of thing, of kind of holding, you know, like what they did in the Super Bowl with the cover zero blitzes,
Right.
and then they ran it at
and
the
you know
perfect
what?
time.
They got a veteran defense. They've got an experienced defense.
Yeah,
those
those
guys are
guys,
going to have
yeah.
a feel for it. It's not like Madden where, all right, we're going to do cover 2 zone here and
Yeah,
then man
right,
bush that. No,
right.
it's more just kind of guiding concept. So we'll see Belichick to start, and then maybe somebody else takes over. Let us know what you think of the Patriots assistant coach situation. How do you feel about how they're set to replace Brian Flores? You can let us know in the comments down below or on Twitter at PatriotsCLNS. This segment has been powered by betonline.ag. Visit clnsmedia.com/win today and use the promo code CLNS50 for 50% cash back. With the FOXBORO Report from Gillette Stadium, he's Evan Lazar. I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching.